I'm Ryan Keough, and I'm hoping to be Kelly Ripa's co-host for a day. I fall in love with comedy and acting and being in front of people, but most importantly, I really just enjoy talking to people, finding out their stories. Everybody has something to tell, and I really enjoy finding out what that is. I have a lot of other things that I think would make me a wonderful co-host, so here's what I do. By day, I'm a scientist. And by night, I perform comedy here at Improv Boston in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Here's what my playful banter looks like. No. They did what? And on the weekends, I host my very own local internet talk show. For more on that, let's bring in my first guest, this guy.
Hi, I love pie.
And that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank my guest, that guy. I want to thank everybody that helped me put this video together, my parents for being so supportive of me, and you for watching. Thank you guys so much. Kelly, save me a seat. Okay, so that was my video submission, and I thought it was great. I think I would have made a great co-host of the Kelly Ripa Show, but my agent explained to me that the folks down there live didn't think I was in their target demographic. Thought I was a little too young, and thought their main target was middle-aged women, which they didn't feel like I resonated with. And maybe they're right. Maybe I have some work to do with the middle-aged demographic, so for my very first guest in the brand new Ryan Keough Show facilities, I would like to welcome in Ryan Sinapuse, middle-aged women expert. Thank you, Mr. Sinapuse, for coming out. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. So I don't know if you heard the scoop, but I need some work with the middle-aged women, and you are an expert. You know more about middle-aged women than I ever will, and I was hoping you could help me target my show towards them.
Well, the first tip is just to look like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get a nice vest on, looking good.
Okay.
Should also talk proper. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
There you go. See? Already better. Don't repeat yourself like that, though, because then they just think you're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine. That's all right. You know, all the things they like. Saxophones.
Okay, saxophones. I do not.
Not jazz saxophone, but nice smooth jazz saxophone.
Okay.
Subtle difference, but important difference. You know, they like older men that sing in a falsetto, like Michael Bolton a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe Michael Bolton's good with them. Maybe a little sting on his softer side.
Yep, softer sting.
Yep, stuff like that.
Okay.
They like homemade presents.
Homemade presents. Okay, so what if I mean, I'm not very good artistically, but I mean.
Well, the convenient thing about 40-year-old women is that they don't care what it looks like. You know, you can be like, hey, look at my macaroni drawing. It's a smiley face made out of macaroni.
Yep.
And they'll be like, it's so great, thank you, even though it's crap.
Yeah,
we all know this. And
right.
They'll put on their fridge, and then like they'll tell their other 40-year-old woman about the macaroni smile.
Are you sure that works if you're over the age of 5? Are you sure that that's...
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure you're the expert.
I'm
you are the
pretty
expert.
sure. I know a lot of 40-year-old women.
You do know a lot of 40-year-old... Can you help me out? Like, I'm not good at arts and crafts, and I know you said you don't have to be, but can you give me a little tutorial on, like, show me how to make something really simple that my target audience at home could use to appeal to middle-aged women in their everyday lives?
You know what? That sounds like an excellent idea, sir.
To the studio. Welcome to our Ryan Keough Show studios. This is where we make things. This is where we design things. We're going to utilize this throughout the season. And I want to welcome you back to help me out and teach you how to make crafts for middle-aged women. This is Ryan Sinapuse, 40-year-old woman expert, for those of you guys just joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
For having me back again.
Getting better, right? Getting better?
Getting a little better.
Okay, so teach. Let me see what can I possibly make with all of these things.
Well, arts and crafts is about expression. So teach might not be the best word, but I want to facilitate you into feeling and making art.
That's a very middle-aged word.
So in many ways, I shouldn't tell you anything. You should just go to town on it.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? You grab one too, and I'll start, and then we'll compare when we're done.
Okay.
So why don't you let everyone know how you became such an expert on middle-aged women? I'm sure there's a story involved.
Well, first I was born
Yep.
to a 40-year-old woman.
Mm-hmm.
That happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then my whole life she was always just 40 years old, and like I got to know her really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then like throughout school, you know, I'd meet these 40-year-old women in classrooms, and I just talk to them a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They would teach me things, and then you just get to know them well.
Okay.
You just get to know them well. And then also you can just Google them.
Yes, Google helps.
Yeah, they love that.
That's not open.
And you got the fan thing. Popsicle sticks. How's yours coming along?
Coming pretty well. I have a red stripe on a coffee filter starting
Oh.
right now, which is just, I mean, baby steps, right?
Yeah, that's something.
I'm going to put a pom-pom on it. Oh, and green is my color. It's kind of the show's thing, so I'm going to autograph it in green glitter.
Okay. So well, I'm done, and this is what it should look like. It should look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that. I think they're very similar.
Well, let's pretend you didn't make that.
Okay. I kind of want to put that on my fridge. You know what? Let me put eyes on it. Can I have it back? Can I put eyes on it? Can I put eyes on yours?
Maybe we should take out the eyes so you don't have to see that.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank you for coming out and showing us all how to make one of these. And
It was a very nice evening.
I'm glad you think so, sir. Thank you for coming out, and we're gonna restart the show with all of the tips that you've given us in mind, and see if we can't construct a 40-year-old woman geared special edition of the Ryan Keough Show. Coming right at you. Welcome to a very special edition of the Ryan Keough Show. We've revamped our headquarters a little bit to cater to the more defined and mature woman. Ladies, did you read your Bed Bath & Beyond circular this week? I did. And inside there's a compelling story about a man who thought he could fix everything. Men. They had a plumbing leak, and he thought that he had the know-how and the tools to fix it. Just call a plumber. Just call a plumber, man. But he didn't. He thought he could fix it and ended up blowing up half of his house. If it wasn't for his strong, loving wife to pull him from the ashes, he'd be dead right now. Girl power. Ladies, I have a guest for us tonight, and gentlemen, that I think will be able to really touch your souls, tell you a story, make you cry, make you laugh. He's a titan of industry in television and podcast. Let's bring him in, Mr. Rick Desilets. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
for
thank you,
coming
sir.
to the show.
Right?
Mr. Desilets, before we get started, my loving mother, who is middle-aged herself,
Is she
baked these cookies,
Oh.
and I think that you should have one.
May I?
Please.
Oh, I would love to dig in here. These look
There's nothing
fantastic.
better than cookies made by a woman. Right?
Right.
So, Mr. Desilets, I hear that you have done many things in the media industry. You have your foot in a lot of doors right now. And
Many broken toes.
I'm sorry, hold on a second.
Good.
Ladies, have you read 50 Shades of Grey yet? I have. You know what one of my favorite parts was? The elevator whisks me away with terminal velocity to the 20th floor. The doors slide open and I'm in another lobby. Again, all glass, steel and white sandstone. I'm confronted by another desk of sandstone and another young blonde woman dressed impeccably in black and white who rises to greet me. Miss Steele, could you wait here a moment, please? Mr. Desilets, how did that passage just touch your life?
Wow. You know, I used to take the stairs, and I think that was an awakening for me right there.
It's a powerful moment.
It really was.
Terminal velocity. I hope that someday when 50 Shades of Grey is made into a Lifetime original series, that I can play that elevator.
Have to ride that one all the way to the top.
I don't know what you're insinuating, Mr. Desilets, but let's carry on. You have been working on some films recently, I know.
I have. It's been a very productive summer for me. I've been making my way, rubbing elbows with the Hollywood types and all that.
Great.
It started in July. I was working on Gina Madison's My Big Bad Wolf.
Okay.
It's currently in post-production. I am the assistant director for it. It's a fantastic artistic endeavor. And, you know, from there, it starts in one place, and the connections you make bring you so much further than you ever thought possible.
Absolutely.
Because from there, I worked with Desilets Azamekas on his film Elevationism, and you can tell that the trajectory is just going up because I got to play a very prestigious role.
Really?
Yeah,
What was that role?
His name was bar patron who was shoved out of the way.
Bar patron who gets shoved out of the way.
Mhm.
Isn't that every one of our husbands, ladies? Right? Bar patron who spends too long away from his loving wife and gets shoved, metaphorically and physically.
It was both.
Hope you learned your lesson.
I did. You know, my character felt hurt by the shove. He realized what time it was. It sobered him up a little bit, and he called a cab to go home. I like to imagine. It wasn't really filmed, but that's where I feel the character.
And how did his wife react when he came home?
She was angry, and rightfully so.
Rightfully angry.
Yeah.
rightfully angry at that mongrel.
Mm-hmm.
So you're working on movies. You're also
I am.
working on podcasts. I believe you have one.
That's
It's
correct.
the D-pad, for those of you guys out there that have not heard of this. Can you explain to our audience what the D-pad is?
Sure, the D-pad, which is located at dpadup.com, as it has been since we started last April. It's a podcast. It's a bunch of 20-something kind of nerd guys hanging out, talking about movies, TV shows, video games, a lot of video games and music, pop culture. And I'm actually glad you brought that up because I had a big announcement I wanted to share with everyone here at the show and you out there watching.
This is a Ryan Keough Show exclusive announcement, I believe.
This is breaking. This is the first time I've actually let this loose.
This is where the news comes from.
Yeah, this is preceding our own announcement on the show itself. So this is big.
Wonderful.
And that is that the D-pad is going to be moving from podcasting to web radio with unregular radio.
That's fantastic. That is a large step up.
That is a huge step up. We're going to literally be at least quadrupling our fan base.
That will bring you to 16, I believe.
I think so. It's 14, to be fair.
14 to 16.
Yeah.
You know what would increase your fan base even more?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say hypothetically we live in a world that's not dominated by men. And let's say hypothetically in that world, there's a 50 Shades of Grey video game.
Oh, okay.
And in that video game, hypothetically, there are passages such as, "Put your hands on either side of your head, my darling," he orders. I obey immediately. "Why am I doing this, Anastasia?" he asks. "Because I rolled my eyes? At you can I barely speak? Do you think that's polite? No? Will you do it again? No. I will spank you each time you do. Do you understand?" End of level 1.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really intense battle right there. You're going to need some really quick fingers.
What kind of weapon would you use in such a boss battle?
I think for something like that, you need a long sword.
Definitely a long sword.
Yeah, the longest sword.
I don't know what you're insinuating. Have another cookie.
Please.
Don't have another cookie because I have a question for you.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Mr. Desilets, what's your favorite color?
Red, I'd have to say, yeah.
Mr. Desilets, what's your favorite strong characteristic of a woman?
Mr. Keough, I don't think that I could really choose. There's just so many.
That is the right answer. What's your favorite Lifetime original show?
Let's see. The one where she gets hit one fewer time than the rest.
That is a good show, I believe. I don't know the name of that off the top of my head because I don't ever turn off the Lifetime channel. So
they all kind of blur together
It's
after a
just
while.
one show to me.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Desilets, do you have anything else you'd like to talk to my viewing audience about? Anything else you'd like to plug?
Yeah, actually, I have my own film company when I'm not working with all the big wigs out west and east and everywhere in between. 2-Bit Pictures, which I believe you've been a part of before.
I've helped out with that before, yes.
You have, yeah. We've got 2 big projects on the horizon. This fall, we're going to be filming our first short film, our first real short film. It's called Shots.
Great.
We're going to be filming it in Worcester, Mass. It's going to be a great time. It's an original work by myself. It's going to be really good. I think people are really going to learn something.
Great.
It's very emotional.
Is there anything you can tease for us without spoiling the plot?
Let's see. I'd have to say that lives are changed and anyone can die. Anyone.
Anyone can die.
Anyone.
Anyone can die. No truer words were ever spoken.
Yeah.
Is that the only 2-Bit Picture project?
There's actually another one coming up. We've got a documentary that we're going to be filming through the entirety of next year. It's going to be big. We're gonna really open some eyes, I think.
Great.
Yeah.
Can you tease anything about that?
Let's see. I think at the end of it all, they're really going to take a look at each other, notice that their eyes are not exactly the same color, and that's going to be a very deep moment for them. That realization is powerful.
That will be an incredible documentary, which I believe has the working title of Dolphins in Space.
That's the original. That's the first draft.
I'm sure
we might change it. We're not sure
I'm
yet.
sure that will be changed a little bit. Probably not. Well, Mr. Desilets, I want to thank you so much for being my first guest inside of new Ryan Keough Show studios.
I specifically dressed like this in honor of you. I figured this would be a good way to accent the classier nature of the new show.
This is Ryan Keough Chic. If I ever open a clothing line, it will be bowling shirts and Batman shirts. But hope I'm allowed to say the Batman on my show. We'll find out. We will definitely find out. Ladies and gentlemen, and especially the gentlemen, go home and tell the women in your life how special they are to you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Keough Show, Episode 2, Season 2, out.